Welcome to the CFL rule changes with Ketchup Munchie. Alrighty, we got the co-host behind the microphone, the Red Goblin, standing in his usual spot on the right-hand side of the television screen. Ketchup Munchie, the one half team of the Munchie brothers, along with his younger brother, the Orange Goblin, who stands on the left-hand side of the television screen. Barbecue Munchie, doing well, Ketchup does play by play, and Barbecue Munchie does color analyst or in game color analyst of the game. Now, well, I got well, we went through with it with Ketchup, and we got some new changes. They're coming to the CFL. And well, we'll start with the first one, and it's going to be the modified rouge. Okay, let's just put the board up. We'll catch up. Re- Put the video on pause, the recording on pause, so I can put the board up manually. I'll catch up. I got the modified rouge board up that I quickly wrote out. So then what the okay, now catch up. I'll explain the regular rouge as it is stands now. That if a field goal goes wide left, wide right, out of the end zone, it's a single point. If a field goal is short of the ends inside the end zone, and if it's a miss because right now the goalposts are on the goal line, so if it's a miss and it stays inside the end zone, and it's not returned out, that's a single point. Or if it's or if it just it hits the end zone, it bounces out into the end zone. That's a single point rouge. That's all on the field goal. On a kickoff, right now, it's that'll stay the same. But the kickoff too is if it stays inbounds, the player has to return it out for a single point, or they can, or if it bounces out, it's a rouge single point. And then currently on a punt, it could be punted out of the end zone, and that's a single point. So, but the now Ketchup the and well Ketchup, I feel like this one everyone could be happy with. This modified rouge rule. This one is not as bad as controversial as they say. This one is fine, and it's probably something that was needed to be addressed anyways. Like the modified rouge would have been addressed. It should have been addressed earlier. That one is fine with me. But now it's on a field goal, a missed field goal attempt, and the ball goes out of bounds. It's not an automatic single point anymore. Now, if it stays in bounds, then the player has a decision to make: is do I try to get it out to not get a single point, but then the ball will be placed wherever the player was tackled, or well, or do I just take the knee down and give them the single point, but the ball will go on the, I guess the ball will go on the 30-yard line next season. But right, I forgot about that. Where's the ball going to be replaced on? I'm going to guess the 30-yard line. Okay, so Ketchup, you're right up close to the microphone. So sorry. It's actually holding you up. Okay, it's actually holding you up. Okay, that's better. Okay, so what I'm trying to say, Ketchup, is okay. So Ketchup is looking up at the monitor now. Okay, so yeah, and on a punt too, if it goes out of bounds on a punt starting next season, it's not going to be a point anymore. Now the punt, if it goes in the end zone and stays in the end zone, then the returner must make a decision again on whether to give up a single point and get the ball. I'm going to say the 30 because it's not going to be the 40 anymore. It's because now the field will be decreased by 10 yards on top of that. So yeah, it's a decision that has to be made in play. So when you look at all that, oh yeah, and no more punts. If it punts out of the end zone, it's not a single point anymore. And so I mean, those little loopholes of how to win a Grey Cup or a playoff game or just a regular season game. I mean, those are the rules that needed to be addressed. I would say that the rouge need to be addressed to not make it so easy to get a point. So that one is like, even if there wasn't the other changes coming up, I would my opinion of this is the well, it's not part of this, it's not the sports news review total opinion. We have a lot of different opinions on sports news review, but my personal opinion, Ketchup, is this rule needed to be addressed anyways. I feel that Ketchup would say, yeah, yeah, this rule. What do you say, Ketchup? Yeah, he's like, yeah, it should have been addressed anyways. Okay, so we're good on the modified rules, that Rouge rule. That I feel it's not very controversial. Should have been addressed anyways. But then, like, it took a new commissioner, of course. And once again, we forgot to mention, yeah, the CFL has a new commissioner, and I can understand totally, like, like, I can't sell the game with this Rouge, like the way it is presently. And yeah, I decided to, like, you know what? It's going to be CFL, and he said it, still the Canadian Football League heritage of a Rouge, but not so automatic of a point. Now there's some different parameters to put in place to get the single rouge point. And once again, I'm in agreement with a lot of folks out there that say sure should have been addressed anyways. But what I'm going to do next, catch up is, well, because we're done with the modified rules portion, and I'm going to put the video recording on pause and put in another board. Okay, catch up. We got the other board up now, and goalposts will be moved to the back of the end zone. I know a lot of folks are saying, wait a minute, ooh, 20-yard end zones in the goalposts, but we'll address that one next because the end zones will be shorter. But yeah, moving the goalposts back, a lot of folks out there say, well, it's a CFL. We had it on the goalposts forever. And yeah, the NFL had it one for a long time. College football moved it back a long time ago. And then, oddly enough, the true story of the NFL moving the goalposts back was for not player safety. It had to do with something else. I think it was something to do. Yeah, it was just getting. It wasn't about player safety and the running into the post, and and the post will be a challenge when trying to do a play down the middle. So it was just that they just want to increase scoring, and kicks were becoming a little too easy. So they moved the goalpost back to the end zone in the NFL, and it wasn't for player safety. This time, it is for player safety, and he said that the commissioner said that the new commissioner of the CFL said that, and it's Commissioner Johnson. Well, I'm just it's just caught up with everything. And so I could just quickly look it up to make sure. I'm just gonna make sure. I'm just gonna get his full name. You think I would know his name, but it's not the NFL. It's the CFL, and that's the thing is that Ketchup. It's it's easier. I could agree with the commissioner on this one. Okay, so like it's a lot easier to just to kind of like be able to sell it a game with goalposts that aren't like so far back. And well, the views will be better. Like the goalposts are becoming a problem for the camera angles, viewing. And he did mention player safety as number one. Okay, he said it. Even though there was no known collisions, uh even though there's no like there was it's Stuart Johnson. Okay, Stuart Johnson, the commissioner. Okay, so even though there was like he said like he wasn't really aware of any very serious injuries that happened because the goalposts were on the field, line of play, but I can understand that like it could just happen. It could just be that one in whatever how many plays like to say 100,000, 1 in 100,000 chance. And yeah, I mean, we could be over. We could be up to the whatever the odds are, quote unquote. I don't, but even if we're like it was due, like he didn't want, yeah, he didn't want to see us. We know with concussions that like a player banging their head against it would just like the league is in for a whole lot of hurt, and they don't like it there anymore, anyways, because they're like, it's just gonna be like I understand completely. Folks like me, folks like Ketchup and Barbecue, we watch the CFL. We're gonna watch the CFL with the rule changes. We're not gonna. We're not. I don't. If you like the CFL, there's no need to stop watching the CFL just because they moved the goalposts. Because you've got to agree with the modified rule. Because they moved the goalposts, you're not watching the CFL anymore. Oh, come on! It's like the CFL needs everyone's support right now, and this, I, it's not taking sides, Ketchup. I'm not taking sides because we had, well, in summary, this is more of a summary. I'm just agreeing how I'm going to say next to what opinions are, but it's not. It's my opinion. I'm just agreeing that you know. You have to. He has to sell the game. The commissioner, just like the NFL, the commissioner, the CFL commissioner, it's also looked on to. Hey, to the owners. Hey, can you help us sell the game? And moving, and he might have. He said, "Hey, if I move the goal, we move the goalpost 15 yards." And well, because it's good, we're gonna go through that one again. It's gonna be 15 yards. So I mean, it's gonna look visually good. Okay, now it's Ketchup. I just I know you love the CFL. You love doing NFL games with Buffalo Bills, and we love doing Sports News Review loves doing the we try our best to get to the occasional Hamilton Tiger Cats CFL watch party, but Ketchup. I mean, and I see a lot of football fans, and I'm not gonna like that's why I like to stay anonymous in what city I'm in, and you know I'll say Southern Ontario because if you look on a map, Southern Ontario is a very large area we're describing here, hugely large area, and I'm just saying that like we're just we're just so close in Southern Ontario to two NFL teams. You got the Buffalo Bills down one way, the QEW, and then on the other end of the 406 is the Windsor, which has got Detroit. So yeah, I mean, there's access to both markets with like to be able to go watch game. Now, of course, we have two CFL teams, and I mean, if they're willing to go watch a CFL, I'm sorry, an NFL game, I mean, they're football fans, Ketchup, and for whatever reason, they're not Canadian football fans, CFL, and the look will help. I understand that there's just so many positive to moving the goalpost. Unfortunately, there is Ketchup. We got your purists, as they say. They don't want to see the post move, but we got to go through this again. I mean, don't I think don't we want to find new fans? And what's just gonna put the video on pause. Oh, well, I'm just gonna leave it at that. Ketchup is to say that whoa, everything's falling apart. Oh, everything is falling apart. Oh, that's because I moved stuff around. Okay, I gotta fix the quick fix in the studio. Ketchup, live fix in the studio here. Too much on one side now? Nah, I'm gonna leave it like that. Just leave it. Uh, I just gotta make sure that his studio floor doesn't fall to the ground and just laptop with it. And jeez, this like the wall's separate from the table, but it could fall too. And it's on the floor's on a curve too now. Okay, and I'm using this box to cover up the bright light for ketchup. But yeah, okay, so yeah, I think we were saying about the television looked better. Fans, uh, the eyeballs, for the fans, like how you have your beautiful eyeballs looking at the television monitor. Well, we want more of those to be, and some more those eyeballs in the stands looking at the game. I mean, if the visually the goalposts aren't there, it's like yeah. I mean, when you turn on the television, the tele, let's be Canadian. Let's call it the tele instead of television is so American. Turn on the telly. I know it's British, but we're Canadian. We should be catch up. We're Canadian. We should be more British than American. Even though America is not far away from Canada, there's a southern border. Okay, okay. Now, yeah. I mean, like it's gonna be like okay. They're like they're not like oh, see, like right this season the casual football fan, he sees the goalpost and like, yeah, it's the CFL. It's got those quirky rules, and that's it. And they're all turned off by it. It's like, oh come on, all right, all right. It's going to be visually better for the television. It's going to be okay. So yeah, I mean, that's I'm in total agreement. Goalpost will be moved to the back of the end zone. Total agreement with the catch up, and I know you'll come around in the season, catch up, and it's going to be okay, okay. Ketchup's on the fence, but I'm like, Ketchup, come on the side of ours. Come on our side of come on our playground, Ketchup. We got the better ball. We got the better football. But Ketchup, I'm just saying, come on our side of the playground because you know what? Uh, it's for the best. So we'll leave it at that one, and then we'll put the video recording one more time on pause, so I could put the last board up. Alrighty, Ketchup. I got the last board up for today. But I'm gonna start with the bottom one, Ketchup. I didn't. Well, you got teams will be on opposite sides of play. We'll start with that one. End zones will be 15 yards, and then field of play will be 10 yards shorter. Okay, we'll start with the first one of as with the teams will be on opposite sides. Okay, what that is talking about, not for you, Ketchup. This is for the a casual audience out there. That when the team right now, the teams are on both sides. Both teams are on one side of the field in the CFL. And yeah, I understand. It makes for weird substitutions where one team has to go really far one end, the other end, and they really want to speed this game up. I mean, and the time on the clock is a factor, and I'm not talking about the minutes like the 15-minute quarters. Just the action. He's brought up that it took 11 minutes for 11 minutes to finish a 1.5 of gameplay. Yeah, yeah, I understand. That's just not acceptable. We do those watch party. We do the watch parties, catch up, and like sometimes I'm saying like I don't notice the time because I got so many things happening this and that. But when I notice that it does take like it took 10 minutes to finish the last 2 minutes of the game, like 10 minutes in real time to finish the last 2 minutes of the game. Well, yeah, in CFL it's a 3-minute warning, but it's like yeah, that's just too much. That took too long. It's going in a Friday night football. It's not too bad if it's a Friday night football, but just if the game ends at quarter to 10, quarter to 11, that's what the CFL is trying to look for. A game that starts at 8 o'clock, finishes at quarter to 11. That's what they're looking for. That's barring extreme injury. That's what they're looking for. But as far as teams being on opposite sides, Ketchup, you gotta agree with that one. That one is fine. I mean, Ketchup, I feel I'm gonna just Ketchup's like he doesn't want to really give opinions. He just wants to be a presenter, and he's interested in looking up the new rule. I understand completely, Ketchup. You're on the fence on this one, but I don't know why. For me, come to this side of the playground, Ketchup. We got a better swing set. No, I'm just kidding. Ketchup, we're both too old to be on swing sets. But you know what I mean, Ketchup. Like I know you just want to stay neutral on all this. You want to stay neutral, but I feel that you'll starting next season, you'll be like, oh, okay, teams on the opposite of the field, not a problem. All right, okay. So and then we'll switch. The end zones will be 15 yards, almost at 65 yards, because I was thinking of the width of the field. The width of the field stays at 65 yards, but end zones will be 15 yards. They're knocking off 5 yards. Well, once again, the 5 yards is the kick, because then it's going to be a 20-yard plus, like a ball on the goal line and going for, if you even put the extra point on the goal line, that's 20. It's 20 plus, it's a 20, yeah, on the goal line, it's a 27-yard field goal attempt just on the goal line. So yeah, I could understand that one. That one's just to make for like 15 yards is I would like the NFL to do. I know there's a lot of people catch up that would say, "Hey, I love the NFL. I'm not know much about the CFL, but 15-yard end zones. I wish the CFL would do 15-yard end zones, and they just can't because they just all their stadiums they're put in place, the new ones, and they just didn't acquaint for the NFL should have did 15-yard end zones a long time ago, and a 65-yard wide field. Do you know who called Ketchup? I don't know if you remember this. If I told you this story, but Hall of Famer Don Coryell, former coach of the San Diego Chargers of the '80s, who was called Air Coryell because of his willingness to pass more than like pass. He doesn't have to. He doesn't have this formula. You have to hand the ball off, hand the ball off. If you hand the ball off and it's working, you hand the ball off. But you rely on the quarterback to win the game and first, and then like he was the first one to say, "Hey, I got to rely on the quarterback to win the game for us, and the running backs as support role." And that's the and what Don Coryell said was this is back in the '80s is that what the NFL should do is take out seats in the first few rows and put the field 65 yards wide, and that would be like the CFL, and 15 yards. I think he said the longer end zone. I'm not 100% sure on the 15-yard end zone, but I know he wanted the field wider to like 65 yards. And yes, if Don Coryell, rest in peace, looking down on heaven, would go, "What's the problem? End zone's 15 yards. I why isn't the NFL should do it, and if NFL should do 15-yard end zones, but it's a little late for that. The infrastructure, yeah, maybe the future. I mean, it could be like hockey where in the future where the newest after this current stadium being built in Buffalo, that they're gonna the newer stadiums will have to include a 15-yard end zone and a 65-yard wide field, and anyone after that well the wants to does but your Green Bays will have to lose front row seats, and yikes, that'd be a disaster. But yeah, I mean, yeah, there's teams like there's so much in play for NFL to not be able to do that. But I mean, yeah, end zones would be 15 yards. That's I'm fine with it. Ketchup, you should be fine with it later on during the season. Okay. And the field of play will be 10 yards shorter. Now, well, it's not going to be a 60-yard field anymore. I mean, 60 yards one, 55 yards one way. Why do I say 60 for? Six, six, it's not, 60 is not even the halfway point. It's 55 yards and 55 yards per side. And yeah, there won't, yeah, the center will be gone. Well, the reasoning behind that was the commissioner saying that he wants teams to be able, like, he wants scoring up. He wants a lot of scoring. And he wants teams to be able to have that shorter distance to get to a shorter distance to get to the end zone. Like when we're talking like field position, so that's 10. You know, when a team just does what it feels like going down the field and they're going 10 yards, ain't gonna make a difference. I mean, they would have scored anyways, kind of. So, but the point being, Ketchup is to get the like to get more closer to the game. So that one is one for a lot of people would be in disagreement of, but I'm kind of like with Ketchup. Both of us are sitting on the fence on that one. I didn't see a problem with a 60-yard field. We could have did the six. I would have did the end zone definitely. I would have did teams both sides. I would have definitely did that. The opposite ends of teams. I would have did the 15-yard end zone. I would have fixed up the rouge. I would have moved the goalposts. I would have moved the goalposts back to the 15-yard. Yeah, so far I would have did all those rules. This one, I probably would have waited till 2027 to put that one in. I would have tried 2020. I would like if I was the commission, I would have just kind of like an easing in of all the. If it was that, and then you figure out, oh, okay, the 10, because once you experiment with the 10 yards, the length of it, and then you can always quote unquote decrease it. Are you going to increase it again? Not really. No. Once if the scoring is up, they're not going to increase it. They need scoring. Let's get real. I've said that over and over, and I understand complete where this commissioner is coming from, because I've done it with another. I've done this, as you say, with like with how do you call it? Like I did like podcasts with Coach Coyote. And well, you're well respected Coach Coyote in Sports News Review. And I did a podcast with him where NFL should adopt some CFL rules. I mean, so I'm in total. I'm in total. How do you say, uh like I agree with these rule changes, and they're not Americanization of them, because I would say that a lot of NFL fans and players, except defenders, mostly defenders, would love to see 65-yard wide field, 15-yard end zones. Don't kid yourself. There would be a lot of NFL fans that would love it. Uh, if it was feasible to be able to do it, they would do it. They would love to see it being done. And the play, well, it's already a 100-yard field to play. So yeah, I mean, the 110-yard field to play. I'm gonna say I would say that the NFL probably would have liked to. I'm just saying that the NFL would have liked the CFL field, oddly enough, because they're too fast. They're just too fast, but they want to increase scoring too, and it's a matter of logistics. For the NFL, can't do all this because it's a matter of logistics. Like they would love, like I said, how many times have I said this in this video? But yeah, would they like to have 15-yard end zone? Yes. Yes, they would. Ketchup, you could agree with that one too, okay? It's up to you to not to agree or disagree. Ketchup, to your call. But Ketchup, I'm saying they would love 15-yard end zones. They would love the 65-yard field. So, and don't kid yourself. There's a lot of receivers that would love a extra 10-yard field. You guys, it just it just makes it. Well, defenders could like it too. I guess the defenders would like the 10 yards. Actually, the defenders would like the 10 yards shorter field. But it's just people had bad. Okay, now, well, Ketchup. Well, we're gonna put the video on pause and do a quick summary after I take the video out of pause. That's the video recording I'm talking about. Well, Ketchup, I'm gonna say to summarize is that well, if you go over all the points, you start with the modified rules. In summary, I'm agree with it. Everything's fine. I hope you're in agreement with it too. And well, Ketchup is on the just wait and see, wait and see. Uh, goalpost moving back, I liked it. The teams opposite the field's fine. End zone's 15 yards, I'm okay with it. Field of play 10 yards short. I mean, in summary, I'm going to watch the CFL, and I'm hoping if you like football, if you like CFL football earlier, to just watch the game. It needs your support. We need all our support. We're trying to grow the game. Well, as in, even someone like, even us, the Sports News Review, we're trying to grow the game. And I think timer is up on that one. Catch up. Okay. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, just give it a chance next season. Give it a chance. That's all they're asking is for you to just give it a chance. And whether you're a CFL purist or just a casual football fan, next season, give it a chance. Just let's all watch it and let's just enjoy the game. Let's enjoy what we like is football. And that's the bottom line. And that's I hope I summarized it enough. Okay, so we're gonna end it here, Ketchup. So I'm thankful for Ketchup to show up on such short notice. Barbecue was out of town. He was at a football camp, just kind of like teaching the younger folk about handoffs and how to get receipt. That would have been fun to watch that. But Ketchup wasn't busy. He was just hanging around near the studio, and I said, "Hey, Ketchup, you want to do rules changes?" Originally, I wanted to do with. I said, "Hey, is barbecue in town?" He said, and I said to Ketchup, "Hey, is your younger brother barbecue in town?" And Ketchup says, "No, my brother is out of town. He's at a football camp. It's a running back day because barbecue used to be a running back in his playing days." And yeah, I just happened to catch Ketchup at a time when he wasn't too busy, and I was ready to. Yeah, so I really thank and appreciate Ketchup's time to come on the air on such short notice like this. But with all that, for yours truly and the Red Goblin standing on the right hand side of your television screen behind the SNR microphone, both of us are saying over and out.